Trade Ministry ensures that the availability of basic commodities for Ramadan. Digital economy is vital for putting Indonesia on the list of 10 major global economies. Good evening, it's Thursday, March 31st, 2022. Market Headlines is ready to provide you information from business and economic. And with me, Fajar Wayong, you're watching Market Headlines. Let's open up today's Market Headline. The Trade Ministry ensures that the supply of basic commodities will be sufficient to meet the needs during Ramadan until Eid. The ministry says the availability of a number of basic commodities is currently above the government's stock standard. The Ministry of Trade ensures that the supply of basic commodities will be sufficient to meet the needs of the community during the month of Ramadan until Eid. The ministry stated that the availability of a number of basic commodities is currently above the government's stock standard. During a hearing with a commission of 6 members of the House of Representatives, the Director General of Domestic Trade of the Ministry of Trade, Oka Nurwan, guaranteed that the stock of a number of basic food items would be able to meet the needs of the community for the next few months.
Berdasarkan hasil koordinasi dengan pelaku usaha dan instansi terkait, ketersediaan pasokan selama periode Lebaran dan Idul Fitri tahun 2022 atau 1443 Hijriah dipastikan cukup dengan ketahanan antara 1,1 sampai 2 bulan ke depan. Bahkan khusus beras, ketahanan sampai dengan 10,5 bulan ke depan.
The government sees that the demand for food ahead of the month of Ramadan and Eid will continue to show an increase. IDX Channel reports. The Business Competition Supervisory Commission has confirmed that it will continue to push for the completion of the alleged cartel of cooking oil. And regarding this, the chairman of the commission explained that the oligopoly structure of the cooking oil market made price formation in the market unhealthy. The Business Competition Supervisory Commission has confirmed that it will continue to push for the completion of the alleged cartel that led to 8 cooking oil producers, which control nearly 70% of the national cooking oil market share. Initial allegations indicate that an unhealthy market structure makes it difficult for the government to regulate distribution to prices at a consumer level. The chairman of the Business Competition Supervisory Commission, Ukay Karyadi, explained that the oligopoly structure of the cooking oil market made price formation in the market unhealthy.
Silakan dibuka catatan laporan keuangan perusahaan-perusahaan minyak goreng itu di tahun lalu atau di tahun lalu yang sudah PBK tentunya sudah bisa diakses, itu mengalami kenaikan yang cukup signifikan. Artinya apa? Dia menikmati dengan kenaikan harga minyak goreng tersebut. Karena apalagi kalau ditarik ke grup perusahaannya itu semakin besar lagi karena dia di hulunya dengan menikmati harga CPO. Mereka menikmati kenaikan harga minyak goreng.
The latest development states that the Business Competition Supervisory Commission continues to investigate the alleged cooking oil cartel and will push it to the investigation stage. This fast step must be taken considering that the price of cooking oil is currently in risk of increasing, especially with the momentum of the month of Ramadan. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel. The implementation of the law on harmonization of tax regulations is believed to change the current tax structure. The regulation is expected to encourage an increase in the tax ratio and the principle of justice in taxation. The government continues to push for tax revenue this year, especially after receiving the latest regulations set forth in the Law on Harmonization of Tax Regulations. Deputy Minister of Finance Suhasil Nazar explained that the government expects a change in state revenues this year. The implementation of the Law on Harmonization of Tax Regulations will encourage changes in the current tax structure. Suhasil said that the regulation is expected to encourage an increase in the tax ratio. In addition, changes in the tax structure are expected to encourage the principle of justice.
Memang akan terjadi perubahan struktur. Perubahan struktur yang paling utama adalah kita berharap tax ratio kita meningkat. Jadi kemampuan kita mengumpulkan pajak, kita berharap strukturnya akan jadi lebih kuat. Itu di level yang pertama. Lalu di level yang kedua, perubahan struktur itu adalah kita akan membuat bahwa pajak itu menjadi lebih adil. Adil itu artinya yang berpenghasilan rendah bayarnya lebih sedikit, yang berpenghasilan tinggi bayarnya lebih banyak. Ini berlaku untuk orang pribadi maupun berlaku juga untuk badan usaha.
The Law on Harmonization of Tax Regulations will also target a number of increases in state revenue through value-added tax, which will increase to 11%. Meanwhile, relief is also provided with the presence of the tax amnesty program, which will last until the end of June 2022. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel. And we're moving on to global update. Germany warns of gas crisis as it readies for disruption in gas flow from Russia. Meanwhile, Australia hit by floods for the second time in weeks. More stories on today's International Minute. Russia promised to scale down military operations around 2 Ukrainian cities, including the capital city of Kyiv, but US officials remain skeptical. The comments came from members of a Russian delegation engaged in peace talks with their Ukrainian counterparts in Istanbul. But US President Joe Biden was wary of Russia's vow to curtail military action in some areas. Meantime, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he too was cautious about Russia's promise. Germany has taken the first official step towards gas rationing as fears grow over a potential stop in Russian deliveries amid a standoff over payments in rubles. The move by the European Union's industrial powerhouse on Wednesday to activate the early warning phase of an emergency gas law was the clearest sign yet countries in the bloc were preparing for supply issues after rolling out far-reaching sanctions in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine last month. Peru's President Pedro Castillo avoided impeachment by the country's opposition-dominated legislature after a parliamentary debate lasting more than 8 hours. 55 legislators voted in favor of impeachment, 54 voted against and 19 abstained. The president's critics needed 87 votes to impeach the leader, who was accused of corruption and moral incapacity. Congress voted to impeach Castillo earlier in March over corruption allegations. The northern town of Lismore in the Australian state of New South Wales has been pounded by heavy rains for a second time in a month, and fast-moving floodwater has broken river banks and levees. Australia's East Coast summer has been dominated by the La Nina climate pattern, typically associated with greater rainfall for the second straight year. The state's biggest city, Sydney, has already recorded 21.1 inches so far this month, its wettest March on record. IDX Channel reports. Indonesia Corruption Watch asks for clarity on the results of a big data survey to postpone the election. Market headlines will be right back.
Jika Anda adalah investor saham, Anda mendapat keuntungan di antaranya capital gain, yaitu keuntungan dari selisih harga beli dan harga jual saham. Dividen, yaitu pembagian laba kepada pemegang saham. Keuntungan lainnya, investor bisa memperoleh pendapatan tambahan dengan meminjamkan sahamnya melalui layanan pinjam meminjam efek atau PME. Apa itu PME? PME merupakan pinjaman efek sementara berupa saham dari investor untuk keperluan penyelesaian transaksi bursa. Apa saja manfaat yang didapatkan? Investor memperoleh keuntungan. Investor tetap dapat menerima dana sebagai pengganti dividen jika ada pembagian dividen saat sahamnya sedang dipinjamkan. Pendapatan yang diterima investor dari layanan PME dapat digunakan untuk membayar biaya penyimpanan saham. Saat nilai saham turun, investor tetap dapat memperoleh pendapatan hingga mengurangi potensi kerugian. Dan yang terpenting, KPEI menjamin pengembalian saham yang dipinjamkan sesuai waktu yang telah ditentukan. Menarik bukan? Prosesnya sangat sederhana. Investor cukup menghubungi perusahaan sekuritas dan menandatangani formulir perjanjian PME. Selanjutnya, jika terdapat kebutuhan penyelesaian transaksi bursa oleh peminjam, saham yang akan dipinjamkan diserahkan kepada KPEI melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Setelah proses PME selesai, maka KPEI akan mengembalikan saham yang telah dipinjamkan dan memberikan pendapatan kepada investor melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Segera hubungi perusahaan sekuritas Anda, Customer Care KPEI, atau kunjungi website kami untuk mengetahui layanan PME. PME. Pinjamkan sahamnya, dapatkan manfaatnya.
Welcome back. Indonesia Corruption Watch visited the office of the Coordinating Ministry for Maritime Affairs and Investment to ask for clarity on the results of a big data survey which stated that 110 million people on social media agreed to postpone the election. Indonesia Corruption Watch assessed that Luhut did not have the capacity to convey matters outside the realm of his duties as the Coordinating Minister for Maritime and Investment. Indonesia Corruption Watch researcher Kurnia Ramadana asked Luhut to explain how the survey results were obtained. At the same time, Indonesia Corruption Watch emphasized that there is no reason to postpone the 2024 election because the rules are clear in the Constitution.
Surat permintaan informasi publik kepada Saudara Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, Menteri Koordinator Bidang Maritim dan Investasi, perihal pernyataannya tentang big data pengguna internet yang diduga mendukung penundaan pemilu tahun 2024. Kenapa kami concern di sini? Setiap informasi yang disampaikan oleh pejabat publik, yaitu Saudara Luhut, berdasarkan Undang-Undang Keterbukaan Informasi Publik, harus mampu dijelaskan bagaimana metodologinya, kapan dilakukan, dan untuk apa dilakukan.
State-owned enterprises minister says that digital economy development is vital for putting Indonesia on the list of 10 major global economies by 2045. The minister's optimism is based on Indonesia's digital economy, which is projected to grow to 4,500 trillion rupiah by 2030.
Digital economy development is vital for putting Indonesia on the list of 10 major global economies by 2045, according to State-owned Enterprises Minister Erick Thohir. Indonesia's digital economy has great potential, he said, adding that by 2030, the potential of the nation's digital economy is projected to grow to 4,500 trillion rupiah, much higher than the country's gross domestic product growth.
Indonesia memiliki potensi yang luar biasa akan pertumbuhan ekonomi digitalnya. Sampai tahun 2030, potensi ekonomi digital kita diproyeksikan tumbuh hingga 4.500 triliun. Jauh lebih cepat daripada pertumbuhan GDP kita. Apalagi saat ini kita sudah melewati second wave disrupsi, di mana digitalisasi sudah meliput berbagai sektor.
The minister noted that Indonesia has also passed the second wave of technological disruption.
with digitization occurring in many parts of the society, including in the education, healthcare, and financial aspects. The development of Indonesia's digital ecosystem will focus on three aspects: infrastructure, funding, and aggregators. IDX Channel reports. The Ministry of Finance ensures that it will not rush to push for excise tax extensification this year. The Director General of Customs and Excise, Askolani, explained that there are three main considerations in determining the implementation of the excise extensification policy. The first is the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic situation. Then the second factor is how to continue the economic recovery process. And the third factor is the implementation of fiscal policy, which will occur in 2022. So it is certain that the excise extensification policy will not be implemented in the near future. Previously, the Finance Ministry planned to apply a plastic excise tax this year. In addition, there is a plan to impose an excise tax on sweetened drinks, which is currently being studied.
Itu adalah bagaimana percepatan daripada pemulihan ekonomi kita. Tentunya ini sejalan dengan dukungan kepada dunia usaha dan juga pelindungan kepada masyarakat. Dan yang ketiga yang menjadi basis pertimbangan daripada pemerintah adalah prioritas daripada implementasi kebijakan fiskal yang akan dilakukan di 2022 ini. Ketiga ini tentunya akan dilihat secara seimbang, di mana pemerintah tentunya tidak hanya semata-mata menaikkan penerimaan setinggi-tingginya tanpa mempertimbangkan ketiga faktor tadi yang akan menentukan daripada implementasi kebijakan ini, apakah di tahun 2022 atau kemudian.
Foreign Affairs Ministry stated that Indonesia has a significant role in globalizing the creative economy industrial sector. Indonesia is called as the main initiator to turn the creative economy industry into global one. Indonesia has a significant role in globalizing the creative economy industrial sector, according to the Indonesian Foreign Affairs Ministry. Deputy Foreign Minister Mahendra Siregar remarked that Indonesia's ability to elevate the creative economy industry sector to the global agenda is a major achievement.
Untuk menjadikan industri dan ekonomi kreatif sebagai agenda global, multilateral dan internasional, menjadi bagian yang melekat dalam agenda Sustainable Development Goals.
Apart from the pandemic, another momentum that pushed the creative economy industry into the global agenda was when Indonesia sought steps to make the industry part of the agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. These steps encompass Indonesia's efforts to mainstream creative economy cooperation for the achievement of sustainable development at a global level. IDX Channel reports. Sido muncul to distribute dividends of 1.14 trillion rupiah. Stay with us. Market headlines will be right back.
Presidensi G20 di Indonesia akan mendorong upaya bersama untuk pemulihan ekonomi dunia dengan tema Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Kami akan menjamu Yang Mulia dan Bapak Ibu di hamparan pantai Bali yang indah yang menginspirasi gagasan-gagasan inovatif untuk produktivitas G20 ke depan. Sampai bertemu di Indonesia, terima kasih.
Kewaspadaan terhadap penyebaran Omikron harus terus diperketat.
Ya, hal ini sebagai antisipasi dari masuknya virus varian lainnya ke Indonesia.
Awali hari Anda dengan informasi dunia ekonomi yang diulas dari berbagai sudut pandang. Simak pula analisa pasar modal dan inspirasi bisnis dari berbagai perusahaan rintisan. Power Breakfast, Senin sampai Jumat, jam 8.30, hanya di IDX Channel.
You're watching Market Headlines. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 7,070.76 and then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 7,076.58 and then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 7,071.44. And in short, Jakarta Composite Index went up 0.26%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got energy as the leader of strengthening trend. That went up 2.56%. Technology went up 1.16%. Property went down 0.45%. And infrastructure went down 0.41%. And we're moving on to top gainers and top losers. Here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Bank Sentral Asia went up 1.27% to the level of 7,975 rupiah per share. Adaro Minerals went up 10.63% to the level of 2,290 rupiah. Bukalapak went up 1.06% to the level of 382 rupiah per share. And Surya Esa Perkasa went up 24.62% to the level of 1,215 rupiah per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Bank Rakyat Indonesia went down 1.06% to the level of 4,660 rupiah. Aneka Tambang went down 2.79% to the level of 2,440 rupiah. Unilever Indonesia went down 1.61% to the level of 3,660 rupiah, and MPPA went down 6.05% to the level of 404 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,349 rupiah, showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. And it was closed at the level of 14,400 rupiah. And in summary, rupiah went up 0.62%. Sido Muncul's annual general meeting of shareholders agreed to distribute dividends of 1.14 trillion rupiah. The dividends amount equivalent to 90% of net profit in 2021.
Sido Muncul allocates 90% of its 2021 net profit or 1.14 trillion rupiah as dividends. Sido Muncul's finance director Leonard said that at the annual general meeting, the shareholders approved the company's proposal to distribute dividends of around 1.14 trillion rupiah. Leonard detailed that the dividends distributed consisting of 15.3 rupiah per share or a total 455.48 billion rupiah were distributed as interim dividends on August 27, 2022. The remaining of 22.7 rupiah per share or a total of 681 billion rupiah will be distributed on April 28, 2022. In addition, the shareholders meeting also approved the annual report and ratification of the company's financial statements for the financial year ending on December 31, 2021. The shareholder meeting also appointed Ernst & Young Indonesia to provide audit services on the company's annual financial information for the financial year ending December 31, 2022. IDX Channel reports.
Metro Data Electronics posted a positive performance by achieving revenue of 18.5 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, the company's net profit reached 508.9 billion rupiah, an increase of 39% year-on-year.
Metro Data Electronics posted a positive performance by achieving revenue of 18.5 trillion rupiah, an increase of 32% throughout 2021.
Meanwhile, the company managed to record a net profit of 508.9 billion rupiah, an increase of 39% year-on-year. Metro Data Electronics Management say that performance growth in 2021 could not be separated from its two business units, namely digital distribution and digital solutions and consulting. Throughout 2021, the digital distribution business unit was driven by sales of smartphones, notebooks, and gaming products, as well as their components. In 2022, digitization becomes a necessity so that the demand for digital products and solutions continues to increase. Seeing this condition, the company realizes that the market potential that must be worked on is getting bigger, starting from banking and financial services, telecommunications, oil and gas, and others. IDX Channel reports. Despite various business challenges, Petrosi managed to record a positive performance in 2021. Petrosi claims that positive performance was mainly due to the implementation of the 3D strategy, namely diversification, digitization, and decarbonization. Despite facing various business challenges, Petrosi managed to record a satisfactory performance in 2021. This positive performance achievement was mainly due to the implementation of the 3D strategy, namely diversification, digitization, and decarbonization, which has been implemented since 2019. Meanwhile, last year, the company recorded total revenue of $415.74 million, an increase of 22.03% compared to the previous year, which was recorded at $342.69 million. Meanwhile, net profit was recorded at $33.71 million, up 4.43% compared to the previous year of $32.28 million. Petrosi also continued its effective liability management initiative in 2021, while the company succeeded in reducing its debt balance by 32.73% year-on-year, as well as reducing interest expense and finance charge by 42.65% year-on-year. In addition, Petrosi is fully committed to prioritizing environmental, social, and governance aspects and implementing a sustainability strategy that is in line with good corporate governance practices. IDX Channel reports. And viewers, the news close our market headlines today, and please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. I'm Fajar Wayon. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Presidensi G20 di Indonesia akan mendorong upaya bersama untuk pemulihan ekonomi dunia dengan tema Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Kami akan menjamu Yang Mulia dan Bapak Ibu di hamparan pantai Bali yang indah yang menginspirasi gagasan-gagasan inovatif untuk produktivitas G20 ke depan. Sampai bertemu di Indonesia, terima kasih.
Sobat Investor, berikut ini adalah beberapa tips yang bisa kalian coba untuk mencapai financial freedom. Yang pertama, pahami kondisi finansial. Kalian harus paham berapa jumlah pendapatan dan berapa jumlah pengeluaran. Yang kedua adalah tentukan tujuan keuangan agar kedepannya kalian lebih mudah untuk menyusun strategi untuk mencapai tujuan keuangan tersebut. Ketiga, carilah sumber pendapatan yang lain. Biarlah pendapatan dari aset itu bisa menutupi pengeluaran utama atau pengeluaran pokok kalian. Yang keempat adalah investasi. Kalau Anda menyimpan uang di bank, nilainya akan terus tergerus. Tetapi kalau berinvestasi, nilainya akan terus bertambah. Yang kelima dan yang terakhir adalah lunasi segala hutang. Bila Anda memiliki tagihan ataupun hutang, segeralah melakukan pelunasan kapanpun Anda memiliki uang yang cukup. Itulah beberapa tips untuk mencapai financial freedom. Bagaimana dengan Anda, Sobat Investor?
Dengan informasi terkini yang kami kemas dalam berita teraktual dan berkualitas.
Memberikan berbagai macam kebutuhan informasi.
Memberikan informasi ekonomi dan bisnis Indonesia juga mancanegara.
Merupakan hal penting dalam mendukung keputusan investasi Anda.
Saksikan program-program ekonomi dan bisnis terkini langsung dari sumbernya.
Selamat pagi pemirsa, selamat pagi Pra.
Selamat pagi juga Prista dan pemirsa IDX Channel pagi ini.
Ya, hari ini nuansa cerah gitu ya.
Betul.
Cuacanya lagi cerah, tapi saya agak sedih, agak mendung Pra.
Wah, kenapa sedih?
Karena saya nggak dapat tiket konser Justin Bieber, udah habis.
Oh, itu dia. Padahal udah lama banget orang menunggu di Indonesia setelah ada pelonggaran, kemudian Justin Bieber udah boleh konser di mana-mana di Indonesia. Cepet banget memang tiketnya habis.
Iya, karena mungkin kan orang udah butuh hiburan, udah 2 tahun, kemudian nggak pernah ada konser yang tatap muka gitu ya, live gitu. Nah, akhirnya kan ini terobati. Artinya kan kondisi ekonomi akan mulai membaik dengan sejumlah pelonggaran ya.
Yes, tapi yang penting protokol kesehatannya nih pada saat nonton konser kan banyak orang pasti rapet-rapet itu Prisa, itu yang perlu diperhatikan juga. Iya, dan semoga sih ya acaranya bisa berlangsung dengan baik karena ini menunjukkan bahwa kondisi pandemi sudah membaik ya. Jangan sampai ada perubahan lagi bahwa nggak jadi dan sebagainya karena kondisi COVID. Ya. Oke. Dan pemirsa, senang sekali saya Prisa Samudatu dan rekan saya Prasetyo Wibowo hadir menjumpai Anda kembali dalam Power Breakfast, di mana Wall Street ini terperosok ke zona merah, indeks Dow Jones akhiri keperkasaan 4 hari beruntun. Ya, pasar masih meragukan janji Rusia terkait dengan Ukraina. Bursa saham Eropa kembali melemah. Langsung saja kita akan mulai Power Breakfast selengkapnya. Kita ke news headline terlebih dahulu pemirsa, di mana sejumlah saham paling diincar saat IHSG ditutup rekor kemarin ke 7.053 adalah saham seperti Telkom, BRI, dan juga BNI. Ya, sementara di sisi lain ini, musim dividen masih berlangsung dari sejumlah emiten seperti Astra International, kemudian Bank BJB hingga Sido muncul. Berikut informasinya.
IHSG kembali ditutup rekor ke level 7.053. Sejumlah saham melonjak puluhan persen di tengah pencapaian IHSG ke rekor penutupan tertinggi. Investor asing tercatat membeli saham PT Telkom Indonesia Persero Tbk sebesar Rp253,8 miliar atau yang tertinggi. Menyusul adalah PT Bank Rakyat Indonesia Tbk senilai Rp148,4 miliar dan PT Bank Negara Indonesia Tbk sebesar Rp71,8 miliar. Beralih ke emiten konglomerasi PT Astra International Tbk atau dengan kode saham ASII akan melaksanakan rapat umum pemegang saham tahunan pada tanggal 20 April 2022. Rencananya dalam rapat tahunan tersebut manajemen akan meminta persetujuan pembagian dividen final mencapai 3,91 triliun rupiah. Dari emiten perbankan rapat umum pemegang saham tahunan, PT Bank Pembangunan Daerah Jawa Barat dan Banten Tbk atau Bank BJB menyetujui 51,77% dari laba bersih tahun buku 2021 ditebar sebagai dividen. Dengan total alokasi 1.042 triliun rupiah, maka emiten perbankan ini akan membagikan dividen Rp99,11 per saham. RUPST juga sekaligus memberikan pelepasan atau pembebasan tanggung jawab sepenuhnya kepada anggota direksi dan Dewan Komisaris atas tindakan pengurusan dan pengawasan yang telah dilaksanakan sepanjang tahun buku 2021. Kabar selanjutnya dari emiten jamu Sido muncul. Siap bagikan dividen 1,14 triliun rupiah atau 90% dari laba bersih 2021. Rencana pembagian dividen tersebut berdasarkan keputusan RUPST Sido muncul yang diselenggarakan pada tanggal 30 Maret kemarin. Dengan rincian dividen dibagikan 2 kali yakni Rp15,30 per saham atau seluruhnya Rp455,48 miliar. Telah dibagikan sebagai dividen interim pada tanggal 27 Agustus 2021. Atau seluruhnya Rp681 miliar akan dibagikan pada tanggal 28 April 2022. Dan pemirsa, berikut rangkuman news headline pagi ini.
Itu dia sejumlah news headlines pada pagi hari ini. Dan pemirsa, setelah menguat 4 hari beruntun untuk bursa Wall Street, kemarin mengalami tekanan dan bursa Eropa juga tertekan, mungkin dikaitkan dengan pasar dan juga dari Ukraina sendiri ya, yang tidak percaya janji manis Rusia untuk menarik pasukan dari Ukraina.
Betul, itu masih menjadi permasalahan utama masyarakat global saat ini terkait dengan keseriusan untuk gencatan senjata yang dilakukan Rusia di Ukraina. Baik, berikut ini kita akan sampaikan informasi terkait dengan pergerakan indeks harga saham gabungan yang masih konsisten di zona hijau sepanjang sesi Rabu kemarin, naik 41 poin atau 0,59% ke level rekor baru 7.053.
Dari IHSG pemirsa, kita beralih ke bursa utama Eropa yang cenderung variatif. Di Jerman DAX turun 1,45%, 14.606, CAC Prancis turun 0,74%, 6.741 dan FTSE 100 Inggris naik 0,55% di 7.578.
Baik, bagaimana dengan pergerakan bursa Wall